What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and in today's video, we're talking about more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news and leaks. Yes, Riddler Coup is back. Riddler Kaka is back as well. And we're going to be focusing big on our best boy, Paldeon Wooper. There is a lot to talk about this Pokemon, and I really want to give him a nice deep dive here. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. To begin, let's talk about our new best friend, Paldeon Wooper. I'm a big Wooper fan. Wooper and Quagsire are phenomenal Pokemon. They're great overall. Water Ground was incredible typing, still is, only 1/4 times weakness, and Quagsire had a really good ability with Unaware and Water Absorb to be useful in all different sorts of formats for competitive play. And I'm a big Wooper fan myself. I mean, an absolutely cute Pokemon, no arms, but yet it can use Ice Punch with its tail. I think that's always been a funny meme personally. But the Paldeon Wooper is a bit different. Instead of being a water ground type, we are now a poison and ground type, which is actually worse overall because it's harder to be better than water ground. It's technically the best type combo in the game, besides like Fairy Steel. But it's only 3 weaknesses instead of 4 because we do get Water Absorb right down here. So we are weak to ground, we are weak to ice, and we are weak to psychic. So we have 3 weaknesses, no 4 times weakness, which is pretty unfortunate. We are still immune to electric though, and we are super effective against fairy, which is pretty good. So overall, I think this typing is very strong. I think it's awesome. But I want to talk more about the inspiration of why Paldeon Wooper is a poison ground type. And we do get a little bit of lore on the official information page right here. Essentially, Wooper lived underwater. However, it lost its territory and then began to live in the bogs on the land. So eventually it lost its water typing, and then it got this poison typing. So while living on the land, they began to cover their bodies in a poisonous film. So this whole Pokemon is covered in poison. That is sort of what the black-brown color is on it. And its head is actually pretty funny because it's sort of like the toxic symbol. You can see, like, if you put its head as a skull and you see, like, you know, these 2 antennae right here, they're sort of like a skull and crossbones. So I am a big fan of this thing overall. And also shooting powerful poison liquids from its gills. So it's shooting poison from its gills right here. So it's just a very interesting Pokemon. But what is this thing actually based on? Because, you know, usually when we get a regional form, there's something that it's based on. And this one's actually based on a real life animal. And we're going to be talking about the Iberian ribbed newt. And this is a newt, which is a type of amphibian. It can live in the water, live on the ground. It lives in both, essentially. They're not endangered at all, but they are really cool creatures overall. And you can see a bunch of pictures of them. You know, nothing too crazy. They are brown, though, like Wooper. They are nice and brown like the Wooper. They don't have the purple antennae though, but they do share a very similar color. The Iberian ribbed newt is from the Spanish-Portugal area, the Iberian region, which is where Scarlet and Violet is taking place. But the big reason why this is connected to Paldeon Wooper is because this animal has a big secret. You can see that it has these yellow spots protruding from its side. When we look a little bit closer, we can actually see that this is its rib cage coming out of its body. And why does it have its rib cage coming out of its body? Well, one, this is a good defense mechanism because they're very sharp bones coming out. And if it was to prick you, or if you like to grab this and it stabs your skin, or an animal is to bite this, it will actually inject poison into your body, and it could potentially kill you, or at the very least make you sick or make you run away. So this is animal's defense mechanism, right? When we apply it to Paldeon Wooper, this is where we can actually see how we're getting the poison typing. And not only is we're getting the poison typing, but we're also getting a general design of its brown skin from the newt. But also, this sort of reminds me of a more bony design. I mean, its chest marking sort of looks like a rib cage. Even the spikes on the side of its head, the antennae, look more like bones protruding out, and they look more sharp than usual than a regular Wooper. And I think this potentially mean that Paldeon Wooper, or its new evolution, because we know it's going to evolve, but it's not going to evolve into a Quagsire. It's actually it was leaked that's going to evolve into a brand new Pokemon. And this Pokemon will potentially have a new signature move. And I hope the signature move is going to be a ground type move that can badly poison the opponent. And it'll be a unique move only to the Wooper line here, which I think will be really sick overall. It's not too crazy. Tons of Pokemon get signature moves nowadays. And I can really see Paldeon Wooper getting something like that. To change gears a little bit, let's talk about Fido, the other internet's favorite Pokemon. And Fido is a pure fairy type, and we know from leaks that it is going to evolve once, and is also one of the 3 new dog Pokemon coming to the game. So we know one of the other dog lines is going to be a ghost type, and we're unsure about the 3rd one, but we do know about Fido here, who's a pure fairy, and I'm going to assume is going to evolve into another pure fairy type, and it's going to be a much bigger baked up dog. But if you translate Fido's name that is in Japanese, a direct translation of the Japanese kanji of its name is Papamochi. And Papamochi has the word mochi in it, and mochi is a popular snack made from glutinous rice flour. If you've never had mochi before, highly recommend it. I think it's really delicious. But you can sort of see the mochi designs on its ears. And I do wonder how its shiny is going to look. I bet it could be potentially maybe a pink or a purple mochi. But the ears and the tail, to me, even the eyebrows, remind me a lot of different pieces of mochi just being smushed together to make a dog. So it's probably not based on like an actual baking of a cake or a piece of bread or something, or any sort of pastry, but I do think it is based on mochi, which I think is really cool. Now for our leaker update, Kaka tweeted out some things in Chinese, which got translated into Japanese, which got translated in English, and this is what the translation actually looks like. Elite Four, hint, child, teacher, gym leader, and female. So this is what we're looking for, and we may have actually found out who they are because they were featured sort of prominently in the trailer, hiding in the background at the opening ceremonies for the treasure hunt. And we don't know how the principal is involved in this. Maybe he's a champion or something else. But there are 4 members, 2 to his left, 2 to his right. And we got 1 man, 3 women, right? So going off of the information we know, one of them is at least a woman. So I think that's an easy knockoff. Okay, we got 1 woman, right? One's a gym leader. So maybe one of the gym leaders we fight along the story, you know, maybe they'll become a Elite Four member, or maybe this lady right here looks exactly like the ghost type gym leader, but her outfit is different. But they have the same dark skin and the same white hair. So maybe this is a sister, maybe this is their daughter, and that's where we're getting the term child from. But that's a lot to think about. So this is a big mystery right here, but this one could potentially be the child or the gym leader relation. Then we have this man here. We don't know what this man could be. I'm going to just say he's the teacher probably, right? So if he's the teacher and she's the Elite Four gym leader, and this could be the child because she looks like the youngest one, or this one. They both could be one of the young ones, and then the other one be a female, right? And a child doesn't need to be like a baby, as long as you know their mother is in the game or their father, and they're like having a story of like parent and child. That's a very good hint that, okay, yeah, that would count. So I can see a young adult character being an Elite Four. And the Elite Four is part of the main story of just going through all the gyms and beating all the trainers. But it is one of the 3 stories. There are other stories. And I assume one is going to be about the treasure hunting, and the other is going to be about defeating the evil team. I think this will be very interesting overall. It is also confirmed that we are going to be able to rebattle the Elite Four and gym leaders too, which is very exciting stuff. But we did see the villainous team boss already. I did cover this on the last video, but I wanted to say, is this dude the evil guy? Is he the evil guy? He potentially could be. I do think it probably is him, but I do have a couple of other theories. So his name is Clavel. Clavel could be the villain, but it could also be this teacher here. He looks pretty evil and menacing, but I sort of am going against it because not only does he look too much like a particular Pokemon, but I just think it's sort of a red herring to have this buff man who looks really evil to be the bad guy. He also looks exactly like Machamp, so I'm pretty sure this guy is just going to be a Machamp stand-in. He's going to be just a guy that he's teaching at the school. He's going to have Machamp, and you're going to probably battle him a couple times. But I don't think he's actually going to be the main villain or an Elite Four member or anything like that. Now, lastly, I want to talk about Penny. Penny is one of the 3 main rivals, and the description for Penny is very interesting. Penny is in the same grade as you. She has a bit of a shy personality, and for some reason, she doesn't come to the academy very often. She is especially fond of her fluffy Eevee bag and always has it on her back. So I think this character is super interesting because they don't go to school a lot. And I'm probably going to bet that this character may actually be the main villain of Scarlet and Violet. I think they're going to be the head leader of the villainous gang. I mean, if she is not coming to class, then what is she doing? She's probably hanging out with the evil team, maybe even rose the ranks to become the leader of the evil team. And we're pretty sure that the evil team is going to be using motorcycles and bikes, so like a biker gang, but maybe more like high school focused because she's from the academy. So maybe more like a bully type of character. I don't know. I think Penny has a lot of secrets. This page has no information on her outside of this screenshot. And it's one of those things where like you'd least suspect this type of character to be a villain. She looks, she looks very small. She has an Eevee. She doesn't look like she's going to kill you or anything. But who knows? It's going to be a big twist and surprise if she's the main villain. And I sort of think it's sort of obvious that the main professor guy, the principal, would be the main villain. So I think it would be a really good misdirection to make it, oh, well, is that guy? Everyone's going to think it's him. And at the end, bam, it's Penny. And then you have to fight Penny as the main villain at the end. Well, guys, that is my predictions with the brand new Pokemon leaks. Of course, I'll be covering more leaks as we get some other Pokemon information as well for Scarlet and Violet, especially as we get closer to this release and when I start making guides. And you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it.